everyone, welcome to another episode of The Walk. My name is Gareth, I'm with Phil, I'm with Vinny and I'm with Steve, and we're in Somerset and we're following a little part of the Somerset Coal Canal. Now this canal was opened in 1805 and it was closed in 1898. Now at that point it was taken over, or at least a hell of a lot of it was taken over, by the Great Western Railway, but there is one section, isn't there, Philip?
That does what exactly?
It's a section of locks called the Combe Hay Locks, which are just spectacular. So we're going to go and have a look at them. So as I said at the top there, a lot of this Somerset Coal Canal was taken over by the Great Western Railway. As you can see, this is a section of it. But if we just go past Philip's smouldering good looks, you can see there is an original lock of this canal built in 1805, as I said. But round the corner, that's where it gets really spicy. Now the reason for this Somerset Coal Canal was to connect the Kennet and Avon Canal, which you may well have heard of, a very well established and famous canal, with the vast coalfields of Somerset. Now I wasn't aware that it had a vast coalfield until I started looking at obviously researching this walk. Now where we're from, Derbyshire and a couple of us Nottinghamshire, there's, you know, plenty of coalfields, plenty of collieries, but I did not realise that actually in Somerset there were 80 collieries. And we've already hit lock number 2 just in this series of locks. Now as I understand it, there are 22 locks. This is incredible. There's bolts there, aren't there, as well? Mate. That is narrow as well, isn't it?
You're not getting a wide beam through here, boy.
No, you really wouldn't. What's that called? That's called a sill, isn't it?
I believe it is.
As I understand it, yeah. Who's the
you know, lockman here?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, who's the...
Bit of everybody really. Well, gates,
go on, Steve.
Example, there.
Right.
Yeah, the gates are there. You can see where the straps go through. They're in a triangle formation on the top.
So yeah, because the danger is, if you don't get it right, you end up grounding your boat, don't you, by getting the...
Yeah.
What's the front bit of the canal called, at the back? If you don't know what you're doing, you get it caught on here and it tips. Sometimes people make monumental errors who aren't used to doing it.
That is a very thin lock. Yeah. I wonder if they had specific barges just for this particular canal.
It does look it, doesn't it? Maybe it's because it's deep, it looks thinner than like ones up our end, there's only a few bricks visible. It goes me down then it looks very narrow, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe. But just look at that then. It's been full of water, this is a winding hole or whatever you call it, isn't it? Pound?
Is that what they're called, a pound?
I think so, yeah.
Vinny knows.
Don't put it on camera.
I just too late.
I call it a winding hole.
A winding hole?
Yeah, winding hole you turn around. This is
winding hole's where you turn the boat round. This is a waiting area to get into the next flight, isn't it? So I don't know what it'd be called.
I just always thought they were called basins.
Yeah. Basins are terminus, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, you learn something new every day. And I can already see lock number 3. This is crazy. Look how high it's going already. Yeah, each lock, bang, bang, bang. It must have taken forever to get up here.
Well, to get around there and round the horseshoe and back down there is only like a matter of a quarter of a mile, and not that, but the amount of locks I had to do to get the gradient change is what necessitated all this lot to be built. 22 locks is mad.
Here's a question though as well. There's no towpath, so how did they get through here?
You've seen it there, haven't you?
Yeah, what? So the horse could drag it all the way from that distance?
Yeah, but the horse is only dragging it between there, and then it'll just carry on and pick it up with the next bit and just keep plodding on, won't it?
That's it.
Yeah. I just said yes then, as if I knew. I ain't got a clue. Just, yeah, alright, yeah, definitely, that's what the horse did. So as Steve's just said to me there, nearly 220 years, and it's still got the wooden gate on it. It's mad. It's amazing. And here we go, look. There's another. I'm pretty sure it's called a sill. I've called that a sill with you know, a little bit of conviction. This canal closed in 1898, and then in 1910 the Great Western Railway came along and built on large swathes of this canal. Now, thankfully, this section survives, but there's large amounts of this that don't survive because the railway's basically gobbled them up. Because obviously, as it was in Derbyshire and Leicestershire and Nottinghamshire and everywhere, to be honest, the railways replaced the canals because they could do it for cheaper, they could do it faster, and they could carry a hell of a lot more products in one go. So they wanted to obviously exploit the collieries of Somerset, and to be fair, with the canals, particularly with 22 locks, I mean, it must have taken, goodness knows how long it took to get up and down here. There was, you know, obviously they were held up with the amount they could get out and stuff, so they were kind of, you know, there was a glass ceiling basically, and then the railway came along and smashed that because, you know, these trains can move. You can tell the difference there, can't you? The height from the last lock to this one. I mean, look at all the stone as well. It's like a medieval castle in here. It's incredible, really. Jeez, look at that. I mean, we've got stinging nettles there, haven't we? We've got stinging nettles and falling rock, but apart from that, we're looking good. In fact, I might walk around that because that's bonkers. Like, I understand that life in this particular incarnation isn't infinite, but I don't really want to go in the centre of a lock on the Somerset Coal Canal, really, if I can, you know what I mean, pick and choose how I leave this mortal coil. So I'm going to come round, and actually I'm walking over the top now. There's another one there, look. I shouldn't sound so surprised each time I see another one because I know there's 22 of them, and we're only at number 4. The chief engineer on the Somerset Coal Canal was William Jessop. Now, anyone that's watched the videos on the channel will have heard that name a lot because he's a Derbyshire guy for a start, and was responsible for, you know, pretty much everything in terms of canals, really. I mean, you had Brindley, Jessop, Outram. They're the names, really. They're the big 3. And Jessop was responsible for this one. So this is lock number 4. Is this 4 or 5? I've lost count. 4. Which is pretty mad that you can only count to 4. But there you go, look, there's a mark made by the gate, the lock gates. You'd swing them open. Now, Vinny's just said he thinks that the canal is there. So that we're doing a hairpin turn in a second then, to come back and then up. And obviously the railway that we looked at the start is that row of trees there. So the railway's just gone bosh. Good night, Henry. Whereas this has got a kind of snake up in a zigzag. So as much as I love canals and I love history in general and I love just old stuff, I can understand how the railways replaced the canal. It's just far more efficient. So that's where we've just come from. Now this would have been the basin then, or as they've called it, something completely different, which I've actually forgotten. And it would turn at this point, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, I can see a lock just in the distance there. So we come out here, this is the hairpin turn then, and bosh, straight off again. The engineering that must have gone into something like this, honestly, it's amazing. It's almost like trying to push a bike up a hill. But for it to only be sort of superseded by the railway, you know what I mean? Sickner. So here we go, here's the first lock then in this particular section. Oh, mate, it's a huge drop. And then it carries on, and I imagine what it does is once it gets back it will join the railway. Right, so we're walking up the hill now. Oh, mate, I'm panting. Phil said there's an engine house up here which used to keep this canal in water. I'm assuming by, you know, pumping water out of the local river, so the River Avon, I would imagine. And you can see how high we are now. That's why you would have needed so many locks, because, mate, it's hilly around here. So is this it here? Oh, wow. Oh, mate, look at that. That's awesome. Nearly stacked it.
Have you seen what that is yet?
I don't think there's a name on it, but
Is there a reveal? No.
If that said the Camerton Canal Company, I'd put it in my pocket before you got to it.
It predates the canal, which 1700
You knew that?
2 to 14 foot.
There's your leak, Darren, behind you.
Look at that. Amazing. Where's the leak?
Yeah, so water's coming down here, and I read or heard somewhere that that was navigable because coal had to come down here to supply that engine house to pump the water back to pump the water back in. So it's not going to work by manpower, is it?
No, it's not.
So coal must have come off, came down here on a small craft probably to keep it going. So it needed coal to keep it running.
Mate.
Venus Kennet coal mines were down there.
Amazing.
Ready supply.
So incredible. A pumping house just hiding up there on the top of the hill. Built 220 years ago. Amazing. Now we're back on the canal now. I'm actually walking along the what would have been, you know, in the water. I have wet feet. Because we think there might be a lock that's got proper gates on it, like full on, not just like, you know, a little bit of wood like we saw back before, which was awesome enough, but a full on gate, which would just be incredible. Right. Jungle is massive. Right. How easy is it to get through, Steve?
Not too bad.
Let's have a look then. Mate, imagine this is what Vietnam was like. Probably not, to be fair. Here we go. Oh, mate, what? That's insane. How are they still in place?
They just sat on the floor, look, holding it up almost.
That's incredible. 220 years of history just sat. Oh, mate. That's absolutely incredible. Oh, you get inside the lock. Have a look at the other side. Oh, mate. Unbelievable. So we've had a bit of a stomp now out of those woods where those locks were. About half a mile now north of Combe Hay, where that field of locks were at the start, and we're at a section where the Great Western Railway has overtaken the Somerset Coal Canal and turned it into a railway. Now this looks amazing. Here we go. Now this was originally built as a canal tunnel, but as you can see, there's a transformer at the end somewhere. Oh mate, I hope that's Steve.
It is. Get up for my land.
Look at that! There we go then. Amazing, let's get down into it because it's all been infilled in that section behind us. It just becomes field and disappears off, unfortunately. So this was originally built for the 1805 canal. Now looking at the brickwork, this tunnel's been built, or at least replaced, isn't it, by the railway? Would you say this has been replaced, this tunnel? This isn't original, is it? You think it's been what, Steve?
Relined.
Relined. Yeah, because that's, I say modern. I mean 1910 isn't exactly modern, but it's not 1805. Amazing. Is this one you've been in before, Vinny?
No, I've not been this one. Didn't know it existed.
It's in good nick, to be fair. I mean, what have you got? You've got a tiny bit of bare rock. That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why you'd brick up and then just leave a little sort of pillar box. Unless it's to let moisture come out through the rocks there. Oh mate, do you know what? As soon as you did that, I got dripped on. I thought it was Slimer. Oh, that's all rock, that side, look.
What the hell's that?
Looks like a wood chipper.
It's a bit grain feed or something.
Oh, it's got a...
Well done, Phil.
For what? Torturing us to get here.
Wow, it's worth it. Worth it. It always feels better when you're inside a tunnel, although I'm being attacked by a wasp I have no interest in. So what's this side look like then? Yeah, see, look, there's the original stonework. You can see the original stonework at the top there, look.
Of the canal, you think?
Yeah, I think, and then as Steve said a second ago, I think they've relined it for the railway, look.
Well, Steve's your brick expert, he'll tell you straight away whether it's true or false because he knows every brick from a mile off.
So that's us, the amazing locks of Combe Hay. They were awesome. It's supposed to be about 22, but I didn't see 22, did you?
Like about 8.
Yeah, but they were decent, and the gate being on one of them is just amazing after 220 years. Plus the tunnel at the end is a little added bonus. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching. Cheers, guys.
See you next time.
Up.